to prosper.
Employees of a McDonald's in Ohio received notices in their paychecks telling them to vote Republican tomorrow. The insert said, quote, if the right people are elected, we will be able to continue with raises and benefits at or above our present levels. If others are elected, we will not, end quote. The fast food chain's corporate headquarters quickly condemned the action. And it is time to let the Willis Watchdogs out. Mark Levine is a radio show talk show host, in D.C., Noel Nagpur is a conservative political analyst, and Imogen Lloyd-Webber is a political commentator and author. Imogen, let's start with you. What do you make of this?
I'm not loving it, I have to say. I'm really not into this. Absolutely encourage young people to vote. They don't vote enough often in midterms. I believe it's only 1 in 4 young people vote in midterms instead of 1 in 2 in presidential elections. But you can't tell them what to vote. It's outrageous.
What do you make, Noel?
Well, as a Republican conservative person, of course, I like someone that's on the right that's pushing it down someone's throat. No, seriously, I do think that he went a little overboard. But, you know, this is a passionate election in Ohio.
Mark, you got to set us straight here. What should happen?
Well, I think it is outrageous, but you got to give the guy credit. At least he was honest. He said, I want you to vote this way. And now I know I'm never going to that McDonald's in northwestern Ohio, wherever it was. Compare that to all the tens of millions of dollars funneled by China and Russia to the Republicans via the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And Karl Rove won't let us know who's funneling the money.
How did this happen? I don't know.
The United States Supreme Court ruled that they could do that. So here's the point. This guy at least was transparent.
Mark, I'm lost. What's the point, baby? Come on.
This guy at least was transparent, and that means I can avoid patronizing his business.
I go for that, too. Let's move on to the next story.
Thanks.
The New York Post reporting on a woman who wrote to the president telling of her financial woes after being laid off. He wrote a handwritten letter back, but the sentimental value did not outweigh the fiscal value. She ended up selling the letter to an autograph dealer for $7,000. Noel, it sounds really smart.
I'm glad you turned to me with this first. Yeah, I'm glad she sold it while his popularity was at least halfway credible, because I think towards the 2010, which is going to happen tomorrow, and even on to the 2012, I think she's looking at a plummeting sale of her little object there.
Well, I don't know about that. Mark, what do you say? Could be, it's probably worth more than $7,000, right?
It may well be. I think the woman took lemons and made it into lemonade. Look, she's in a terrible position, and she reached out to the president. And interesting, she still supports the president. She's still a fan, but she needs the money. We're in a tough economy, and, you know, things have not gotten better yet because, well, we can talk about why. You know why. You know why I believe. Because Republicans have disrupted and prevented the stimulus package from being large enough to help this woman.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay, Imogen, your turn, sweetie.
What I found was very interesting is that Obama apparently reads 10 letters from the general public today across section, and the Queen in the UK does this as well. And you know what? If you're out there, and you were talking about this earlier on today, write that letter, vote tomorrow, get involved with this, whether it's Tea Party movement or not. Be passionate about politics. You have more power than you think you do sometimes.
Now, I think everybody can agree with that, right? Everybody likes that.
Sure, but if the president writes you a letter, you can always sell it. It's worth something, so bottom line.
It is a money show after all. Okay.
There you go.
Next story. Some of the initiatives on ballots tomorrow are, I mean, really out of this world. But this one takes things to a whole new level. Denver Initiative 300 will establish an extraterrestrial affairs commission. I don't know what my problem is today. And it's going to protect us from aliens. Mark, I turn to you on the alien question.
Well, yeah, no, extraterrestrials are not the aliens that I fear right now. It's the Chinese and Russian money, not the extraterrestrials. No.
All right. Noel?
You know, when I got this topic, I had to actually go, is this for real? I mean, seriously, they're actually putting something like that. And I understand that other people actually called to make sure that this thing was on the ballot and it was for real, too. It's just absolutely loony.
It is loony and a little crazy. Imogen?
Well, I got stopped by Arizona Border Control last week, and I felt like an alien. But no, I mean, clearly, if taxpayers' money is involved with this at all, this is ridiculous. Spend it on something that matters.
All right. Final story. The Daily Mail is reporting a not-so-convenient truth for former Vice President Al Gore. The leader of the Green Movement apparently left his car running for almost an hour while he gave a speech in Sweden on minimizing CO2 emissions and using public transportation. Okay, Mark, baby, this is for you, and then we're going to have to go. I know you want to talk about Al Gore.
Well, no, I went to source the story, and it turns out their source is a disinformation campaign that's run by Exxon. Listen, I really think you've been punked here, Jerry. There's no legitimate source for this story other than this disinformation propaganda group. At the end of the day, how did he have a car in Switzerland? In Sweden?
Punked?
I mean,
You're telling us
he had the keys in the car? Wouldn't someone have stolen it? It's a really weird story. I don't buy it.
Are you really claiming the Daily Mail and associated newspapers in London have been punked? I'm sorry on this one.
Well, they said alleged in the Daily Mail. They didn't say it was true. They said it was alleged.
And to think he got a Nobel Peace Prize. What's up with that?
All right, well, that was fun. Thanks, Mark, Noel, and Imogen. Appreciate your help today. As always, a great job.
Thank you, Jerry.
Up next, we turn back to the foreclosure fee.